What's up, guys? This is Kyle over here at the Horror File, coming back, doing another review of a movie I just recently watched. I wanted to do this review because it's fresh in my mind, and you know, just kind of talk a little bit about this movie. Just came out, still in the theaters. This movie is the 2015 Eli Roth movie called Knock Knock. This movie is actually was actually directed by Eli Roth, and it is an erotic horror thriller. Now, I know when I say erotic horror thriller, that's kind of a weird genre of movie, erotic horror and thriller, but that honestly sums this movie up quite well. Pretty much to kind of get into the plot, I'm not going to give any spoilers out. This movie stars Keanu Reeves and Lorenza Izzo, which is Eli Roth's wife, and another actress. She's a Czech actress. I'm not really sure what her name is. But the movie starts out, you got Keanu Reeves, who is the father of 2 kids, and he has a wife, and they live in this nice, this really nice house that's in Hollywood, or I'm pretty sure it's in Hollywood. It's in California, but they have this really nice house. The Keanu Reeves is actually an architect, and his wife is an artist. So he pretty much has all this architecture stuff in his house. You know, he designs buildings, designs apartments, you know, just does anything architectural wise. His wife is actually a well-known artist. She creates sculptures, and she does all these art paintings and things of that nature. They have them all over their house, and they're pretty much showing them off. Pretty much the premise of the movie is Keanu Reeves it's Father's Day. He actually, unfortunately, has to work on Father's Day. They had to plan a trip to go to the beach. He can't go to the beach, so his wife takes their 2 kids to the beach. That night, after his wife leaves, he hears a knocking at the door. It's pouring down rain. These 2 girls are at the door. They tell him that they're trying to get to this party. They're lost. They pretend like they're on the wrong street. The street names sound really familiar. They're trying to act like. So Keanu Reeves lets them come in. They're soaking wet. It's kind of awkward when he answers the door. He doesn't really know what to do. I guess as a male figure, you know, it's kind of odd to see 2 girls just randomly, in a random neighborhood, 2 really beautiful girls come to your door needing help. So he's kind of taken back a little bit. He doesn't really know how to feel about it. But you know, he's a really nice dude, really nice guy. He helps him out. He says, you know, you guys can come in, you can use my phone. They say their phones are dead. They don't have any contacts. So, they do know, one of the girls do know one of their contacts. So he lets them use his iPad, to FaceTime or to call the person. In the meantime, Keanu Reeves' character, calls an Uber for them. This movie, and kind of stop right here, and I hate stopping when I'm talking about the plot. This movie has a lot of social media about it. There's a lot of new social media themes in it. They talk about Uber, they talk about Facebook, they use iPads, iPhones, they use all kinds of stuff. Just social media stuff that nowadays that everybody uses. So I thought that was a really neat thing. It's kind of like the movie Unfriended, if you haven't seen it. It's all based around, that movie's all based on Skype. Very believable Skype session. This has got a lot of social media elements to it too, which kind of, for me, I work from home. I use social media a good bit. It's for me, it's cool to see because it's stuff we use on a daily basis, or at least I do. So that's really neat to see. But getting back into the plot, he starts drying their clothes. Their clothes are soaking wet. He gives them robes, starts drying their clothes. And as this is all going on, the girls are kind of being flirty toward him. They're looking all around his house. They're picking up his dog. They're looking he used to be a DJ. They're looking at all of his records, and having him put on music, and they're dancing, having a good old time. Basically, at that point for me, I would have kind of been like, this is kind of awkward, I mean, even though they're beautiful girls, even though they're beautiful and they're good-looking women, the awkwardness isn't going to go away because of that. It's going to be still awkward as hell. So at this point, I probably would have been like, let's go ahead and get you out of here. So I'm not going to get into much of the plot after I tell this point, because this is the beginning of the movie. As you can see from the preview, they end up seducing him. He tries to fight it, really tries to, for the most part. I mean, as a guy with those 2 beautiful women, it'd be really hard, but he tries to fight it, and he just lets the best of it get to him. I mean, it happens. And this is where the erotic part comes in. There's actually a really disclaimer: there's a really pretty strong sex scene in this movie, stronger than most that you see in movies. I mean, it shows a good bit. It's not like a hardcore porn scene or anything, but it is pretty graphic, softcore for the most part. It goes on for a little while. It's kind of awkward to see. I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't realize it was like that in depth. But especially with Keanu Reeves, that's why it was kind of awkward. But after this happens, I won't get into too much after that. They go on kind of like a crazy rampage with Keanu Reeves. They pretty much they leave the next day. He makes them leave. They do all this shit to his house that's really uncalled for and really pointless. And yeah, like if you guys didn't know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. This is actually, it can be considered a remake or a reimagination of the movie Death Game. It's a 1977 film, Death Game by Peter Traynor. I've actually seen that movie. I saw it a long time ago, and this follows along pretty much exactly the same line as that movie. I had no idea going into this movie that it was a remake. They say on the Wikipedia page it's an update to the 1977 film, which in my opinion is a reimagination. I think Eli Roth, he's really big on exploitation films. This is a reimagination of that film. Overall, I was thoroughly, for the most part, pleased with this movie. I mean, it had its plot holes. The acting wasn't, great, along with a lot of the other Eli Roth movies. You can look past the acting with a lot of his movies. Keanu Reeves really kind of stole the show with this movie. There's a lot of funny dialogue scenes where, like, he says certain funny things that you could tell it's just the Eli Roth humor coming out, and I really enjoy that. I think it lightens the mood up as you're going through these films, and it's a really serious note, and you're like, God, what's going to happen next? And then something funny comes out of one of the characters' mouths. I do enjoy that. Even though it's kind of cheesy, I do enjoy it. I mean, I think that's his kind of homage to exploitation cinema as well, because if you watch a lot of these older exploitation movies, a lot of these older horror movies, there is a lot of that kind of cheesy humor to it, and I think that's his kind of homage to it. At least that's what I get out of it. But overall, yeah, Knock Knock, I would say it's very entertaining. It does have its plot holes where you're kind of like, it's some of it's unbelievable. Like, there's a lot of scenes where you feel like, at least I felt like Keanu Reeves could have done something at a certain point in the movie, but he didn't, and you're just kind of like, come on, man, like, really? But I think that goes along with a lot of the Eli Roth movies. You kind of got to go into these with an open mind. The acting, not the greatest, but Lorenzo Izzo and Keanu Reeves, they, for the most part, stole the show. They're great actors. Yeah, I would probably give this movie, probably a solid 6.5 out of 10. I don't feel like I enjoyed The Green Inferno more. If you haven't seen my review on The Green Inferno, it's on this page as well. But at the same time, this is a home invasion movie. You got to kind of take it how it is. And I did feel like this was an entertaining movie. It was definitely worth a watch. I would recommend you guys watching it. I probably will end up watching it again at some point. I do feel like that I maybe missed some things, so it may be cool to watch again and see some of the things I missed. But yeah, highly recommend checking it out. Knock Knock, Eli Roth movie. You can go to the theater and see it now. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching my reviews as of late. I actually did a review on a movie called I Spit on Your Grave 3, which has gotten a ton of views, and I do appreciate everybody that's watching that. Let me know, if you guys have any movies that you want to see reviewed. If you like these reviews, give me a thumbs up. And also, there's links down here below to my to subscribe to this channel that I'm on. Hit the sub, subscribe to me. I come up with new reviews all the time. I just did a movie update as well. And there's also a link going to be to the channel that I help out called Body Bags. Give them a sub as well. It's a horror review every single day throughout the week. There's different people that do it, 7 people. So, yeah, man, appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, deuces. See ya.